I'm Charlie.
And this is our first episode of the week. We had 2 Nashville Predators games this week, but we weren't able to get our episode done on Wednesday. It was a crazy week for us. We had car troubles we were fixing and all kinds of appointments and business-related things. But we're here on a Friday night after 2 incredible Preds performances and happy to be here with you all to talk, break down these Preds games, 4 other things. What do we have on today's show, Charlie?
Well, we're going to talk about the last 2 Preds games, which we both won on Tuesday night versus the Golden Knights, and last night against the Blackhawks. And then we're going to be looking at a special topic about locker room troubles with the Canucks and the Bruins.
That's right.
And we're also going to have a Four Nations face-off preview in this episode.
That's going to be fun, which we are going to the Four Nations tournament. We're going to be in Montreal for a couple of the games in the first section of the tournament. We'll talk about that in the preview, but we're so excited. So let's go through the rosters today, look at the matchups, make some predictions, that sort of thing. And
as well, we're going to have our featured card as usual. And then you can, if you're watching on YouTube, you can join us over on Twitch for Around the League stuff.
Perfect. Well, all right, let's get into the 2 games. So we had a game on Tuesday night against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Keeping our streak going of playing some of the most dominant teams in the league. Vegas is number 1 in the Pacific Division, and still, even after the loss to us, I think they're still number 1. And what happened in that game? I came in second half of the game, I believe, right? Oh, no, I remember when I came into the game.
Oh, yeah.
I came into the game. I turned it on 10 minutes left in the second period when I got done with work. And Predators were up 3-0, I believe. And the shots on net were in favor of the Preds 15-1. Halfway through the game, the best team in the West, maybe the best team in the league. A lot of people have them as their Stanley Cup favorite again. They look like the cup-winning Golden Knights of a couple years ago. Had 1 shot on net. I mean, that's incredible. What a performance from the Preds. Then all of a sudden, it started to fall apart. We scored 1 more to go at 4-0. Is that right? Or
yeah, we were up 4-0.
So yeah, we get another one, go up 4-0, and then one man on the Golden Knights says,
I'm going to carry this team.
He put the team on his back.
Score a hat trick.
And he scores a natural hat trick. So he gets 3 goals in a row. All of a sudden the game's 4-3. I think he got, what was it, 2 in the second and then 1 more in the third maybe? Or
yeah,
were they all in the second?
I think there's 2 second, 1 third.
2 second, 1 third. So now it's 4-3. All of a sudden it's interesting. Who scored the first goals for the Preds? Anything noteworthy?
The first goal was Stamkos, who's scoring.
Yeah, he's on a tear. He's scoring a lot of goals. It's been much more these last few weeks what we thought we were getting when we signed Steven Stamkos. So, again, we've mentioned this already, but putting together the top line of Forsberg with Stamkos and Marchessault has been excellent. All goal scorers, and they're all scoring goals. So that's really good to see for the Preds fans.
The goal was like, there's just like a few guys like right there in front of the net, and the goal was flopping around everywhere, and Forsberg had it and passed it to Stamkos, and it was just, I think, mostly open net.
Awesome. So Stamkos gets number 1. Who gets number 2?
Forsberg got number 2.
Forsberg, which is 2 games in a row for him, I think, or 3. Is that sack? Oh, balloons. Oh, it's because I did this. So we got 2 or 3 games in a row for Forsberg there. That's awesome. You know what? I think balloons for Forsberg.
Balloons.
I think that's deserving.
Balloons.
And this as well. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I think that's I think those are both allowable for a Philip Forsberg goal.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what else?
Well, I just like to point out those first 2 goals. The first one was Stamkos assisted by Forsberg. Then the second one was Forsberg assisted by Stamkos. So.
Boom. They're starting to find their chemistry.
Right here I wrote, at the end of the first, the shots were 11-1. So we slowed down a little bit by the time of the second.
Yeah, and then Golden Knights turned it up after that 4th goal. Who gets the 3rd one for the Preds?
Justin Barron's first goal for the Preds.
That's
after
right.
A beautiful pass from Yossi for the one-timer goal.
Yeah, Yossi put it on a platter for him. Said, "Here, have a goal."
Nyquist kind of had like a breakout pass to Yossi, basically. I think.
Awesome. Then the 4th goal.
Stammer again.
Stammer gets his 2nd. He was on hat trick watch after that.
That one was when I think it was, I don't remember. It was like maybe right after the power play or during the power play. Marchessault passed it to him, and he barely and one time in it
kind of banked it off the goalie, didn't he?
And just but it was like a really small space for him to shoot into.
Yeah, which that was that. No, that wasn't the game that went to shootout, right?
No, that was last.
That's the next one. Okay, yeah.
And then after that, it was looking a little concerning when
Dorfeyev
got a natural hat trick, just
bang, bang, bang.
I thought we were just gonna score and score and score and score, but then Dorfeyev was putting the pressure on us, and we didn't score for a while.
And momentum in a game can be such a tricky thing. You're up 4-0. You're thinking, got this. No problem, right? Mm-hmm. The 3-goal lead is a little bit scarier. You go up 4. I think maybe only once so far this season, a team in the National Hockey League has come back down 4-0. I don't remember or by 4 goals. Had a 4-goal comeback, so you're feeling pretty good. But then the Golden Knights score 3 in a row, and it's 4-3. Momentum at that point is really tough, and Golden Knights had it, and they were putting pressure on us. And as a Preds fan, with the season that we've had so far, Charlie and I have watched every game, and you start to really go, oh, here we go again, right? Mm-hmm. Golden Knights are going to tie it up. Comes down to the end of the game, they pull their goalie.
And then
who gets the empty netter? O'Reilly. With 0.9 seconds left, our guy, Ryan O'Reilly, who had many chances last game as well. We'll get to that, but he
at the time of recording, yeah, for sure, he has when this was 4-game iron, he hits iron. I think he hit it last night against the Blackhawks.
Yeah, it feels like every game he's getting really close.
He hits the post.
He had one last night where he has an open net, beautiful pass. I don't remember who was behind the net, passed it to him. The goalie's looking over his left, and it passes out in front, and O'Reilly gets the puck.
And he's just still
open net, but just shoots it a little too high. He was trying to shelf it over the goalie, and he shoots it over the net. The goalie doesn't even know. He turns his head back around after O'Reilly's missed already. He never even saw that a shot happened. That it was a beautiful setup. O'Reilly just couldn't put it home. But he did get the empty netter with 0.9 seconds. And I loved it. I always would love it for stats. And Ryan O'Reilly's on my fantasy team, so I love that. But most importantly, I have his Hockey Ultimate Team card, which goes up a +1 every time he scores. So the empty netter, even though it had no impact on the game, I was cheering, running around. Let's go! So that was super fun to see.
And with that win, that game against the Golden Knights was our 1,000th win in franchise history.
1,000th win.
An awesome one.
All the NHL fans out there, do you know which team? Because we are now the second fastest team to reach 1,000 wins. We want to know, do you know? Leave a comment if you know who got there faster than the Preds. We're second fastest all time for a franchise to get to 1,000 wins. Well, does anyone know who? Type in your guesses if you think you've got a guess. We'll see if we get any answers in here. Okay, I'm gonna look up who's 4-goal comebacks this year. Tell us, Charlie, about what happened on Wednesday in Nashville before we get to the second Preds game of the week. There was a special day on Wednesday. Break it down for us. What went down?
On Wednesday was the inaugural Golden Hall induction. If you don't know, the Golden Hall is something the Nashville Predators are starting. It's the Nashville Predators Hall of Fame, NHL Hall of Fame, and it was the first induction ever with David Poile,
Our first general manager, and only up until 2 years ago.
Shea Weber, and our guy Pekka Rinne were all inducted, and they got like their gold jacket and
special ceremony.
those little banners they hung up in the arena.
Lots of current Preds and former Preds in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool to see. A lot of them were at the game on Tuesday night against Vegas, and then stuck around for the game Thursday night, so you can see them in the audience. Pekka put the headset on and joined the booth for the broadcast team. It was fun to listen to, and I saw lots of good comments. Charlie, I don't think you and I talked about this one. I saw Mike Fisher got on to introduce Shea Weber, because they were good friends and played together, and introduced Shea Weber at the Golden Ceremony, and said that, he loved Weber, loved playing with him, etc. But he, was really sad when the worst trade in Predators history happened, which is kind of like a stab at David Poile. But Poile has said, which I don't know, is it Poile or Poye? I think it's Poile.
I don't remember.
Has already publicly stated that he regretted that trade, Shea Weber for PK Subban, which really both players were very good for our team. PK was very good for our team, but Weber is just like he's a Preds Hall of Famer. Like, he is one of our best players, and now he's in the actual NHL Hall of Fame as well. It was our captain for so long, so it hurt. I think anytime you trade your captain, it's tough. The Rangers did it this year. I know a lot of people were kind of unsure about that, right? Getting rid of their captain. But yeah, cool event. Cool to see those three guys get recognized. And real quick, before we go to the second game, I looked up only team this season to come back and win after trailing by 4 goals is the Colorado Avalanche. Came back against Buffalo, which, Buffalo's having a rough go still. If you're a Buffalo fan, I'm so sorry. You have been a terrible team for a very long time. I don't remember the last time Buffalo was in the playoffs, but I'm sure all the Buffalo fans watching will relate to that. And if you go back, it happened a few times last year. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 times last year. The Sharks did it, Avalanche did it, Blackhawks did it, Coyotes did it. And you go back only 3 times in 22-23. So, that's really rare. When you consider thousands of games are played every season, you only get 3, 4, like a handful of 4-goal comeback wins. So, yeah, pretty cool. Okay, last night.
Against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Now, before we get into this game, I definitely was nervous going in. So far this season, the Nashville Predators have played their best hockey against the best teams. We have beat Winnipeg. We have beat Vegas. We have beat...
Earlier in the season, when the Canucks were better, we beat them.
Yeah, Canucks are struggling right now, but when they were not struggling, they were good.
Them.
We beat them. We beat Colorado.
Yes, we beat Colorado.
Did we beat Edmonton? I don't think so.
No.
That was the 1,000 point.
We went like 0-2-1 to Edmonton this season.
Okay, so we didn't beat Edmonton. But we've played very well against a lot of the best teams. And I remember some of those Edmonton games were good games.
And I think both times we played the Wild, I think they both was super duper close.
Close games, yeah. We lost that most recent one by power play goals.
And we were dominating
we got in penalty
the
trouble.
game in our most recent game against the Capitals.
Yes, that was a good game too. So that's what I mean. We play our best against the best. And who's strolling into town but the last place, yeah, I'm pretty sure last place in the league, Chicago Blackhawks. That always, gets you worried. We've lost to the Canadians this year, who are way better now, but when we played them, they were like one of the bottom teams in the league. We've lost to teams like that. So I was nervous, but I turned the game on at the end of the first. So I came home during the first intermission. We were up 1-0, goal from Stamkos.
Yeah. Power play goal, I think.
Power play goal. Chicago then goes on to score 2. Back-to-back goals.
The first one was just a beautiful shot from Bedard, no surprise.
Yeah.
And then the second one.
Yeah, I think Shea gets it in the corner, tries to wrap around a pass to Blankenberg, gets past Blankenberg, pops right out. I don't remember who gets the puck, but passes it over to Bedard. He's just got such a Bertuzzi, yeah, and he gets it to Bedard. Bedard's shot. If you haven't watched the game with Connor Bedard playing, I'm sure all the NHL fans watching, but if you get a chance, the Blackhawks are not good yet. They're going to be, but it's going to take some time. They're not good yet.
No question that they're going to be good.
But yeah, with Connor Bedard, if they can build the right pieces around him, the kid is incredible. So. And
they've had like 8 first-round picks since 2022.
Yeah, you know it's coming. You know their time's coming. So now we're down 2-1. This stays like that for a little while.
Remember the second goal? It was like a weird board one.
Yeah, it was really weird. I felt really bad for Saros because the first one's just, kind of a fluke. It pops out, gets past, not a fluke, but it gets past Blankenberg, right to Bedard. The puck is on its edge when Bedard shoots it. Those are always really hard. Coming from, I played goalie as a kid, and when it's not like a clean shot, the puck's already rolling around. It's so unpredictable, like where it's going to go, and that one gets past him, and then right away the next shot bounces off the boards behind him. He tries to get against the post where it's not going to bounce off of him, but it gets stuck under his leg.
It slides through and just into the
net. Yossi's there looking for it. He doesn't see it fast enough. It slides into the net. Everybody's bummed. That's a fluke goal. The other one was a real goal, but both goals you can't really put on Saros, so I always feel bad for the goalies in those instances.
Most of the third period we were down, putting on pressure. I mean, I remember O'Reilly was really showing up that period with a bunch of awesome chances.
So many chances. I kept Yeah, he had a great game. He's really playing well. He started the season slow, and he's looking more and more like one of our best players.
Yeah, he got first star of the game.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But
okay. Who tied it up for us?
Forsberg with under 4 minutes left.
That's right.
Old school from the right circle. Just winds up a slapper into the top corner.
Slap shot, top corner. His shot is ridiculous. Whether it's a wrist shot, slap shot, it's so good. Every game you get to watch him shoot the puck.
Michigan shot.
Yeah, his Michigan. Yeah, really good. And Forsberg ties it up 2-2. Is that the score going into overtime? I think it was, right?
2-2.
Stays 2-2
all
the way to overtime.
That was also Forsberg's 300th career goal.
And his 300th career goal, yes. Yeah, that's a special one. Way to that's the kind of goal you want for a memorable one. Just wind it up and bam, send it home.
Arvid Soderblom was just saving everything.
Yeah, we were putting so much pressure on to get the tying goal. And I felt like we're going to get it. When your team is really pushing, and the goalie's making all kinds of incredible saves, but you just have that feeling they're going to break through. Forsberg finally did, but yeah, Soderblom had a really good game. It goes to overtime.
And Soderblom's still doing amazing. O'Reilly's still doing amazing in overtime as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of chances.
We should have won in overtime.
Why?
We had so many wonderful opportunities if it wasn't for how good Soderblom was playing.
I mean, I know they had a couple chances too. That's just the way 3-on-3 overtime is.
I was so surprised that none of those shots went in.
Yeah, but we had a lot of good looks, and then it goes to OT. Now, I did not know this stat going into the shootout. I didn't know this stat going into shootout, but crazy stat. Soderblom now has played, I think, 3 shootout games. After this one, which I guess we can go ahead and tell you the result, Predators scored on all 3 attempts, and Juice led in the first one and stopped the second one, and since we scored on all 3, game was over. We'll talk about who scored in a second, but after that, Soderblom now is 0 for 9 in the shootout. In all 3 shootouts, the poor guy has never stopped a shootout attempt.
Maybe it's a the pressure just cracks to him in Shootout, and he's just like,
you know,
oh my gosh, it's all on me. It's all on me.
Well, I mean, it already is really tough for a goalie in Shootout. You have no help. It's one-on-one against the best, skill players in the league. With nobody there to stop them, they can take their time. They can deke and puck handle as many times as they want. It is so difficult. But to go over 9 is a bad look. And we were joking. I wonder if going into the shootout is their coach and their teammates going like, oh no, here we go again. Come on, please make a save.
When overtime ended and was going into shootout, it showed Soderblom just going.
Did it?
Like, he was just like going.
Poor guy. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. But, yes, Predators score. We send out Stamkos first. He scores?
No, Nyquist first.
Nyquist first.
And
Nyquist snipes
scored.
it.
And then the Blackhawks sent out Teravainen.
Oh, yeah, Stamkos was last.
Yeah, Stamkos was
That's right.
last.
That's right.
And the Blackhawks sent out Teravainen. He also scores.
Nice.
Then in round 2, we send our guy O'Reilly out, and he scores.
Which I found out after the game. O'Reilly now, the Predators, I think, have not lost a shootout in the last 2 seasons. I'm pretty sure we're 4-0. And O'Reilly has scored in every single one of the shootouts.
In the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, all 4 shootouts. In that 4-0 span, which is cool.
I think so. That's true.
And his goal was nice. Nice puck handling. It was nice.
And then the Blackhawks send out Bedard. They know it's an important shot. They're down 2-1 in a shootout. And UC Soros saves a Connor Bedard shot. And then it goes into round 3, and all we need to do is score to win. I thought we were just gonna save Forsberg for the last one with a shot, but we put Stamkos out, and he scores, and we're just like, yeah,
let's go.
We won it in shootout. It's always really exciting, but it's always like, oh,
yeah, it's stressful.
Gosh.
But shootouts are fun. That was our first one this season. First shootout this season. And even though we've gone to overtime a bajillion times, none of them have gone to shootout. Yeah, we won a couple, lost a bunch, but none have gone to shootout.
That streak where we lost 3-2 in overtime.
Both the 3-on-3 overtime and shootouts are just so stressful for Preds, for any fans around the league. You know, when you're watching 2 teams, you don't care who wins. It's just exciting.
It's like,
but if your team is in it, you're just stressed the whole time. It's if you get an opportunity on offense and you miss, for sure the puck's going the other way, and now they have a chance to score because 3-on-3, there's just not enough players on the ice. So, but that's why they designed it that way, and it's exciting. Like we were saying though, after the World Juniors games, I don't think they should ever change the playoff format. In the playoffs, there are no 3-on-3 overtimes or shootouts. It's always 5-on-5 until somebody scores a goal, even if you have to go into the middle of the night with the game. And it's very fun to watch and very fun to be a part of. But I get why you don't do that for all 82 regular season games, you know?
Yeah.
It would just be too much. So Preds now on another 2-game win streak.
We're calling it another streak.
Yeah, you know, we got to take our streaks when they come this year. We don't have an 18-game streak like last season, but it's a streak. 2 games.
It feels like a streak.
Next game, tomorrow night in Nashville. Last game of the 5-game road homestand. Against
game 4.
Oh, it's game 4?
Game 4.
Who's 5 against? I don't remember.
The Sharks.
Oh, Sharks, that's right. We've got the Minnesota Wild in Nashville tomorrow night. We're going to the game.
We'll keep you. When we come back, we'll tell you how it was.
Yeah, we'll tell you how it was. But maybe even do our podcast in Nashville. We'll see.
That would be awesome.
Run it from the hotel in Nashville or something. But we'll be there in Bridgestone Arena. We'll be pumped against the Minnesota Wild. I think Kirill Kaprizov is still injured. Wild fans, that sucks. He was having an MVP caliber season, so hopefully he returns soon. But I have to say, as a Preds fan, I'm not that unhappy that he's not in this game. We need every point we can get, so hopefully
even
we can.
If he's better, maybe he should just keep it slow.
Yeah, ease back in. But hopefully we get 2 more big points. I'm still hanging on to hope that the Nashville Predators make it into the playoffs. Which
Yeah!
I want to
Like
look at the
the
standings
Blues
later.
Are gonna be the St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues 2019 Cup run.
And we have O'Reilly. So
we've got O'Reilly. We got the secret ingredient. Let's do the thing. Okay, so we wanted to talk for a minute tonight about some locker room drama from some other teams around the league. As far as I can tell, the Nashville Predators locker room, while we didn't seem to have any chemistry on the ice, there didn't appear to be any issues off the ice. It looks like everything's hunky-dory in Nashville. But if you haven't heard, earlier in the season, there was some drama coming out of the Vancouver Canucks. And this has existed for a little while now, but this season it seems to have gotten a little bit worse. JT Miller and Elias Pettersson apparently don't like each other. And I don't know which direction this is coming from. The Canucks and those players seem to claim that there's nothing, it's fine, they've worked it out, they can play together.
But that's what everybody would say probably.
Yeah, you want to try to hush that as much as you can. You don't want it to affect your team. But other players that have been on the Canucks or know them well have come out and stated, like, no, they don't like each other. It's not going well. So that's been kind of going on all season. Some people are wondering if one of them will get traded.
Like, they might, like, affect how each other, the way they play, because, when JT Miller left the team, Elias Pettersson started doing really well, and people think, like, he doesn't have stress to think about, like...
Right. If there is some beef there, is that...
Like, oh, JT Miller's not here, I can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say, you know, and it's been going on, it seems to be kind of settled down a little bit, which is good, I guess. If you're a Canucks fan, I've been enjoying watching the Canucks games, so I was hoping
old
that.
Buddy Sherwood.
Yeah, exactly. So that's there. I did hear some rumors about JT Miller. I think Rangers offered Zibanejad for Miller earlier in the season, and Canucks shut it down.
That is a pretty
interesting trade. But I don't blame the Canucks for saying no.
Right now, I'd say JT Miller is probably better than Zibanejad.
I think so too. I don't think Zibanejad's on that level.
I feel like probably Zibanejad used to be like a little more. I think more popular than JT Miller, like around 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, I think so too. But lately, Miller is definitely a better player. You know, he can just take over a game, you know.
But he's especially signed, like, starting last season for sure, when he had, like, well over 100 points, I think.
Yeah, he was over, I think, maybe 106, I don't remember, but he had a lot of points. Then, this past week, a Bruins radio show host goes out and says, and first, some background on this guy, he has somehow had inside information on the Bruins multiple times now that came out to be correct. So he must have a source or just crazy good luck and intuition. I don't know. But he came out with news about the Jeremy Swayman contract when that was going down, and a few other...
It was true.
And it was true, yeah, and a few other Bruins things that came out. He comes out and he says that Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak don't like each other, don't want to play on the same line. Marchand's mad at Pasta for his poor play this season. Pasta is upset about that, and the guys don't want to play together. It's all falling apart in Boston.
That is a very specific and weird, like, just out of the blue comment to make on the Bruins, I think.
Yeah. And so then Marchand comes out after one of the games and just shuts it all down. He was like, Pasta and I are best friends. You know, and there's like the people are showing photos from their wedding, or I think Pasta's wedding and Marchand was there, or Marchand's wedding and Pasta was there, something like that. They still play on the power play together. I don't think they usually are on the same line together, but he said we do that on purpose to spread out the offense throughout the lineup. We want to have more depth. And so he basically says there's nothing there. This guy's completely wrong, should be fired. What ridiculousness. He's trying to disrupt our team. Which I don't know why the guy would, but I feel like he probably at least got some intel. Why would he just make that up?
Like,
and of course, just like we said about the Canucks, the Bruins would want to come out and be like, no, that's ridiculous. There's no problem. Even if there is a problem, because they don't want people to know there's a problem. What do you think? You think Marchand and Pasta have issues, or is it just some kind of false rumor being spread?
I don't know what to say on this one.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say, but I think
Marchand has kind of like a jerky personality sometimes.
And Pasta doesn't seem to have one, but you know, they could still be very good friends, and if they aren't, shutting it down like this publicly and supporting each other the way they are since they're teammates, even if they don't super like each other or maybe are mad at each other. And you know what? Even if they're friends and Marchand has given Pasta a hard time for not playing up to his potential, Pasta wasn't. He's one of the best goal scorers in the league, and he went on a long drought this season. He wasn't doing great. Interestingly, this news broke right when the Bruins were on a bad streak. They've been losing a lot of games even since getting their new coach. They haven't been playing super well. All of a sudden, they won a couple games in a row. So I don't know if that kind of unified the team. They had something to be like, no way. And Pasta has been playing amazingly. He had 3 points the other night, I think.
And two of his last 2 or 3 or 4 games, he has 3 points in each of them.
Yeah. No, he's playing great. He's also on my fantasy team, so love to see that.
Yeah.
And I think Sully just pulled Sully pulled a Pasta card in that pack last week? I think he got a Pasta Aimbots card maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And in the new 2024-25 Upper Deck Series 1.
Yeah, there's some great cards in that. It's a really
they're
good
awesome
series.
packs too.
Yeah.
They usually offer 3 good hit cards.
So, we're talking about this drama. It always gets me thinking, it's a different era now to play any sport or to do anything because of social media and the way news is spread. I think it always existed, but rumors and stuff like that, they would be spread a lot slower. It wouldn't be in your face all the time. I think it would be hard to be a pro player. Think about having the ability to just search your name on Twitter or on Google and stuff and see all the terrible things people say about you. Obviously, all the good things people say about you too, but we all know how the internet can be. There can be a lot of nasty people out there just saying terrible things.
It's best to just ignore it for sure.
I think so. I think that would be best. I think I would stay off of social media, just go out, play my best, and
don't let it affect your life.
Try not to care, but it's hard, and it would make sense that sometimes that might get in the locker room as well, and I think teams would do well to try to ignore the outside noise and really bond with the people that they're on the team with and stay strong and don't let the outside noise affect their relationships on the team. You don't have to be best friends with everybody on your team or everybody you work with or whatever it is, but you have to find a way to work through your differences and work together because you're on a team. You're teammates. And there's always going to be situations like that. You're not going to be best buddies with every single person you work with in life, but you got to find ways to work through that. Okay, should we go to our Four Nations preview?
Yeah, I'm excited for this because I love this concept instead of the All-Star game this year.
It is, but you have to find a way to work through your differences and work together because you're on a team. All right, so let's go to NHL. They just had this. Yeah, here we go. Four Nations roster and schedule. I would be down with there being no All-Star game every single season if it means we get a Four Nations face-off and then we get Olympics. Expand this, make it a 8 Nations face-off next time. This format, I think, is going to be super fun to watch. So, Four Nations face-off held from February 12th to 20th in Montreal and Boston. So, they're going to play a bunch of games in Montreal first. Looks like 4 games in Montreal. Then they move over to Boston a couple days later for a couple more games and then the championship game. So it looks like just 3 games in Boston. Pretty cool. So it starts on Wednesday the 12th. We're going to go to this one on Thursday. I think we fly into Montreal on Wednesday. Then we've got this one on Thursday, U.S. versus Finland. That's going to be super
And
fun.
then
Cheer on Team USA. And cheer on Juice. UC Saros, our goalie for the Preds, is on Team Finland. It's going to be a little bit hard to cheer on Team USA and watch him try to score on our favorite goalie in the league. You know, Saros is going to be...
Hopefully when if USA scores, I mean, they're probably going to, like, rotate because all of the teams have, like, the best goalies.
So many goalies. I wonder how they're going to handle that. I mean, each team has 3 goalies. I think if we look at Finland here, yeah, their goalies are 2 former Preds. These guys were teammates last year, Lankinen and Saros, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. And right now, I think Saros is playing the best.
Definitely, I think.
Lankinen has made a great push this year, but hasn't played as many games as Saros. Saros has played in big games. I think if you're Team Finland, Saros is your starter. But do they play him every single game, or do they rotate? I have no idea what the plan is for that.
They could, rotate every period.
I feel like they'll probably do a full game. I think you're going to want to get a player into his rhythm and let him play the whole game. So I hope we get to see Saros play in one of the games we see Finland. So that's Thursday, U.S. versus Finland. Wednesday is Canada versus Sweden.
We'll see.
And then Saturday's a doubleheader. Finland versus Sweden. We're going to that one. And then later that night, USA versus Canada. That's a huge game. Everybody's going to be watching that one on Saturday night. All these games are on ABC, ESPN Plus, like all kinds of things there. You can see Max. They'll be streaming on different things. So then it goes to Boston starts back up on that Monday. So I'm guessing Sunday's a travel day for everybody, or maybe Saturday night. Monday we start again, another doubleheader, Monday the 17th, Canada versus Finland at 1 p.m., Sweden versus USA at 8 p.m., and then we'll have the championship game. I'm sure they just take the 2 best teams with the best record, I would imagine. And it's not that many games. It's going to be a fast tournament over the course of 8 days, but it's going to be so exciting. Here we go. 4 nations face-off rosters. Team Canada. Looking down through this list, we won't rattle off every name on the list. Everybody can go, look it up if they want. But does anyone jump out to you on Team Canada? First, let's say who jumps out as the most exciting players, the people you're looking forward to watching the most. Because Canada, I mean, Canadians are basically born playing hockey, right? So it's always so exciting. They've got so many good players.
Highlights of the team include McKinnon
McKinnon, for sure. McDavid. Makar. All the M's. You know which one, jumps out to me as kind of like, ooh, that's fun? Seth Jarvis.
Uh-huh.
He's been fun to watch for Carolina, although I don't think he's having a great year, is he?
Not like a
superstar, but he's really fun to watch. I've watched a couple of interviews with him. He seems like a really funny guy too, and yeah, that'll be cool. That's a cool one to see on the team. Marchand's still on the team.
Marner, he's doing
popping
good.
off. Yeah, he's doing really well.
And he's racking up assists left and right.
Yeah, their defense is fairly stacked with Makar, Morrissey, Parayko, Pietrangelo, Sanheim. That's good D.
And then Braden Point and Sam Reinhart is goal scoring focused.
For sure. I mean, yeah, and plus McDavid. You got Sidney Crosby on the team, a generational talent there, who's still playing really well at his age. Anthony Cirelli having an incredible season. So this team stacked at forwards, definitely good defense. I think the glaring hole here in the Canadian team is their goaltending, which I grew up at a time when Canadian goalies were people like Martin Brodeur. So to see a time where this is the best they have, that's nothing against Jordan Bennington, Aiden Hill. Both of those guys have won the Stanley Cup, so they're obviously very good. But statistically and based on the eye test, the visual test, they're not as good as a lot of the other goalies in this tournament. And then they've got Sam Montembeault, who's playing really well for the Canadians. Young kid. It'll be curious to see who starts. Who's their number 1, 2, and 3. I don't know. Bennington's been playing better lately. Maybe it's Bennington.
I mean, with these three goalies, you never know how good they can play.
Yeah.
Any
It's
of these
definitely up in
guys
the
can
air.
lead their team and do amazing. If they are at their best potential.
And maybe that's all Canada needs is their team is so good. It's just like how Bennington and Hill have won the cup. They don't necessarily need their goalie to steal the game, you know? Whereas like Finland, they're going to need their goalie to probably steal some games. So let's see how that goes. We go down to Finland. Forwards. Anything jumping out? Oh, wait, back to Canada real quick. Any snubs? People jump out to you that aren't on this roster that you think should have been?
I can't honestly keep up with who's Canadian.
Yeah, it is hard to remember who's Canadian, who's American, that sort of thing.
Hold on. Stamkos.
Yeah, where's Steven Stamkos? Where's our guy?
Stamkos, I think, is equal as some of these guys. As like
equal or better.
100%. I mean, like he's as good as some of these guys for sure. Like
definitely. But it makes you wonder
names that he could definitely replace.
When they're putting together their roster, though. Do you think there's sometimes they get to a spot and they're like, oh, Steven Stamkos. Well, we already have some goal scorers like that. Let's get this guy who's better at face-offs or is a bigger guy who's better at hits or something. You know, they might have to fill roles.
Sam Bennett's really good at he's really good at all. I know he's really good at all of like the points stats.
Okay.
So Bennett's a good guy to have.
Like a role player.
I had him on my
you need guys that
fantasy
can
team for a while.
kill penalties.
I've been watching him in my fantasy for a while to see his stuff. He still was really consistent, having a point per game for a pretty good amount of time. But he hits.
Yeah.
Plus minus is pretty good sometimes.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
Because the Panthers are good, but.
Okay, moving on down to Team Finland, we've got Aho, Armia, Barkov. You got the whole list here. I love to see Laine out there. That's awesome. He's having a kind of a good comeback. Mikko Rantanen killing it for the Avalanche. Granlund, we love, former Pred. Good forward group, but nowhere near the talent of Team Canada, I think. You agree?
Yeah, but in defense, it might. I think it. Yeah.
Defense is
Miro
rough.
Heiskanen is highlight on defense, but then other than that, it gets rough.
It's rough. You got Hakanpää, you got Nico Mikkola, Olimata, Ristolainen, Valimaki. I mean, some of these guys, they're not terrible. They're role players on their team.
None of them are really bad. But
there's not a player in the league that's terrible. Obviously, you don't play in the NHL if you're terrible. But in comparison to the Cale Makars and all of the league, definitely this is Finland's weak spot is on defense. Then you get to goaltending. Maybe the best goaltending. We love our Finland goalies in Nashville, and these guys, all three of these guys are good. Obviously, we are bigger fans of Lankinen and Saros.
I love how
Nashville.
Finland in the Four Nations face-off has the Preds' last season goalie tandem.
Yeah, exactly. It just speaks to how good Predators goaltending is. Then we go down to Team Sweden. Now, this team's loaded of former Predators, right?
I am definitely rooting for this team as well as USA.
Obviously, we're rooting for Team USA, but yes, Team Sweden is going to be super fun to watch, too. We got, right off the bat, Victor Arvidsson, former Predator.
Arvy!
Philip Forsberg, current Predator, and the all-time leading scorer for the Nashville Predators.
He's going to own he's going to own every offensive record in Predators history.
Already has a bunch of them. He's going to have them all by the end, for sure.
And Nyquist.
Gustav Nyquist also made the team, which I think that's probably based off more last season's performance than this season's. But I'm happy he's on there. You go to defense. We got Matthias Ekholm, former Predator. We loved Ekholm. I still love watching Ekholm. And he has such an important job for the Edmonton Oilers of being a defenseman that can really shut it down, but also contribute with some shots on net and get a few goals over the season. So Ekholm's good. What do we think here? I think their forwards are good. Obviously, they got Forsberg and stuff.
Definitely. I would say their offense is pretty
But the fact that guys like...
Good.
But the fact to me that guys like RV and Nyquist, who aren't having incredible seasons...
Neither's like Leo Carlson.
They got Zibanejad, he's not doing great. The fact that many of those guys make it on there, to me, shows that they're a little thin, maybe at the forward position.
But it could definitely be worse, so...
Yeah, no, and it's still going to be exciting to watch. Eriksson Ek is really good. Leo Carlson's been playing great. Jesper Bratt's really good.
Really good season.
Defense, I think they've got like a good shutdown defense. Ekholm and Forsling doing well this year. Rasmus Dahlin's great.
In terms of defense.
Victor Hedman's incredible.
Pierre
Erik Karlsson, I think his best years are probably over.
I mean, it was crazy last season. Last season, I drafted him pretty high in fantasy because he was coming off 100-point defenseman year, and I was like, and he's on the Penguins instead of the Sharks. This dude's gonna be amazing. He had 50 points,
which is still incredible, but not what you're used to with Erik Karlsson. Big drop off.
Senators and Sharks, Erik Karlsson was just.
Then we go down to Swedish goalies. Philip Gustafsson started off really hot with the Wild, kind of fell off some, but still playing well.
He got a goalie
goal. You go Jacob Markstrom. We were talking about him the other day. Might be in the running for Vezina. Linus Ullmark has been playing way better recently. These are decent goalies. Definitely decent goalies. Finally.
USA!
Team USA. First off, what will they pick as their goal song after the USA World Juniors team has an incredible run?
Freebird!
Will they pick Freebird?
I want it to be Freebird.
That'd be awesome.
I want it to be Freebird.
I'd be pumped. Or do they want to leave that as no, that's the juniors thing. We got to pick our own. I don't know. But it worked. Freebird was so fun to hear. And they picked the guitar solo part. It was so good. So I'm curious to see that. But it's going to be so fun cheering on Team USA. We got Boldy, Connor, Eichel, Gensel, Hughes, Kreider, Larkin, Matthews, Miller, Nelson, Kachuk, and Trocheck.
This is going to be awesome.
Stacked forwards. I think our forwards are good.
I mean...
Not as good as Canada.
Not as good as
but maybe tougher than Canada. We got two Kachucks. We got Brady and Matthew. Are they going to be on the same line?
Top tier, enforcer and,
elite goal scorer.
Goal scorers, those players are always amazing.
Yeah.
Lindros back in the day was like that.
He was. Yeah, incredible.
But
and Austin Matthews, who I'm really nervous about that one. He's been injured, then back on, then injured. He's got to be one of the best players on our team. Do we lose him?
Should be.
We're missing Cole Caulfield.
Which is bad. I mean, we have Chris Kreider.
He's USA, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Cole Hudson was USA. Oh, wait.
Caulfield.
Yeah, I'm talking about... I was thinking of Blaine Nelson.
What just happened?
Yeah, because Cole Caulfield. I don't know. If Cole... I think
so.
he is. I think he's American.
So. But I think Chris Kreider's definitely questionable. But this doesn't... Yeah, American ice hockey player.
There he is. Where's he from? Wisconsin. 24 years old. I mean, he's lighting it up for the Canadians. If someone goes down to injury, please bring Cole Caulfield in. I want to see him play. Defense. Brock Faber, Adam Fox, Noah Hannafin, Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, Jacob Slavin, Zach Werenski. My favorite right there is Werenski. He's having an incredible year. He may win the Norris. Just a few weeks ago, I thought he was one of the top three. When we were breaking it down, I was like, okay, McCarr, Hughes for sure, and maybe Werenski next. And now I'm kind of thinking, Werenski's passing them. Yeah, I mean, he's every single game. And maybe it's because the Blue Jackets aren't as stacked as the Avalanche and the Canucks.
His
18-game home point
18.
streak. Yeah. In goal, we've got the GOAT right now, Connor Hellebuck.
Awesome tandem. I gotta say that.
Swayman is playing way better.
Earlier it was everyone was questioning, would Swayman be on Canada or USA?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact situation there, why it was uncertain which team he'd be on.
Swayman?
Must be one of those where he was born one place and grew up somewhere else. And then you have Ottinger, who is also good.
If you're a Preds fan.
But I'm always I'm always a little biased. So, there's the rosters. What do you think? Who's coming home with first place?
USA.
Let's see the prediction. USA versus who in the finals?
Canada.
USA, Canada in the finals?
That could very well be it, though.
Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it.
But
I'm going to go with you. USA versus Canada in the finals. USA takes it. Gets the World Juniors. And
Sweden
4 nations.
and Finland aren't as... Because, they don't have, a really good deep team, in my opinion.
True. They're going to be fun to watch, though, still.
Yeah, they have some players that are, really fun to watch.
Big team missing from the tournament is Russia.
For
for obvious reasons. They're not allowed in a lot of international play right now.
But they would
Had
have
they
a
been able
stacked
to,
team.
their team would have been very good.
Highlights would include, Panarin and Pasternak and this season. They have, Nakis.
And then you have some smaller countries that are also not in the tournament, like Roman Yossi's from Switzerland. They won't be in there. We won't have Germany or any of the teams like that. So, interesting thing to think about is all the players that just get to rest for this 8-game tournament. Yossi's going to be sitting at home chilling, and of course all the players not selected, but then you have some of the best players in the world like Leon Draisaitl not going to be in the tournament. All the Alexander Ovechkin not going to be in the tournament because those countries aren't in. So while it is cool, I would probably like to see, maybe if it goes well, I don't know, they expand it to maybe a few more teams. I know the other teams can't put as good of a roster together as these 4 nations, but and maybe that's why they limit it to these, but it would be fun.
Imagine a World Junior style where there's one new country every time.
That'd be cool.
So.
Well, we have reached the featured card of the day segment.
We didn't know what we were going to call it.
I love this segment. I hope you guys like it too. What card do you have today, Charlie? You want me to show mine first?
I think it's your turn.
My turn? Okay. In honor of David Poyle, Shea Weber, and Pekka Rinne becoming the first 3 members inducted into the Hall of Fame, I have my Pekka Rinne Lords of the NHL swatch card with a piece of his jersey inside here.
That card is probably worth a gazillion dollars.
I don't know about that. Is it on there good? Can you see it? See it okay?
It's a little bit blurry, but you can... Oh, yeah, now it's good.
Now it's good? Does it focus in?
Uh-huh.
Little piece of the jersey in there. I'll read the back.
I'd say that's good for a lot.
This is from the 2013 season, year Charlie was born. Rinne became the first goalie in Predators history to record 3 shutouts in a personal 4-game span. 3 shutouts over 4 games. When he earned a 3-0 victory against the Phoenix Coyotes. That's interesting. I forgot that was before they were Arizona. On February 14th, 2013. He recorded a 1-0 win 2 nights earlier against the San Jose Sharks and a 3-0 win against the Los Angeles Kings on February 7th. The enclosed game-worn material is guaranteed by Panini America.
That is awesome, man.
Awesome. All right, you're up. What you got?
I don't have anything
I'm out of frame.
really cool, but I'm doing another one based off of the game last night.
Yeah?
The second time I picked him...
I dropped it.
The second time I've picked him in this podcast already so far, it's another Ryan O'Reilly card. But
yeah!
I loved how he played with those chances
Hold it still.
I loved how he played with those chances last night, including the game-winning shootout goal.
Oh, that one looks cool. Let me see.
It's an all-star. It's an all-star game.
Nice. All-star. Man, look at those white gloves. That's a good look with that jersey and the blue logo. It's Sabres,
think
Sabres,
that
Bruins.
that was in
Blues,
St. Louis.
Blues.
I think that All-Star game was in St. Louis.
There it is. The 18-19 season. That's the year they won the cup. 82 games played, 28 goals, 49 assists, 77 points. I think that's 77 points.
No, he didn't beat his career best. He almost beat his career goals, but
Okay.
he didn't
But
have
not
his
points.
career best.
Plus 22, 12 penalty minutes. Yeah. Good card. I like that one. Okay. We are now going to turn off the YouTube stream. So YouTube, thanks for joining us. Make sure to hit the like button.
Do all the things.
Do all the things. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment.
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. Tell us what you think. What are your predictions for the Four Nations face-off? We want to hear. Who's going to be in the finals? Who's going to win? And if you want to hang out with us on Twitch, we're going to start this Twitch stream back over. So if you're watching on Twitch right now, when it shuts down, just refresh the stream here in a minute. And we're going to just go around the league, check out scores and standings, and maybe watch a couple highlights. So join us over on Twitch for that. And the rest of you, we'll see you for the next episode after tomorrow's game against the Wild. So probably be on Sunday in Nashville if we have the opportunity. If not, maybe on Monday when we get home. So